Okay, I think I've got everything that I need to do done on this Westendorf loader. I just really want to talk about it a little bit because when I post a video, I don't think I come off as saying that the piece of equipment is a piece of junk, because in my mind it's not a piece of junk at all. I actually have no problems with the use of it. I like it. My father hates it, that's for sure. He absolutely hates it. And I know there's some people that have these things and they don't particularly care for them. And then there's other people that have them and they think they're great. I mean, they work really well. I'm a middle of the road kind of a person when it comes to this loader. It's not a John Deere. The reason I bought this one was because I actually like the design of it. I think it looks good on the tractor. I think it's built pretty decent. I have had a few issues structurally with it. Nothing terrible, but this collar broke off, which not a big deal. It's a greasable gizmo there. It broke off. I welded it back on, and that's fine. What else was there? It was something else kind of minor. Oh, I did have a hydraulic cylinder that was leaky, and I'm not a fan of these hydraulic cylinders by any means. I think they're terrible. I think they're terrible. The reason I think they're terrible is because they have no down pressure. This is a double action cylinder, and it pushes from the inside of that shaft. So when you're lifting, it pushes from the big side of it. There's a ram on that. But when you're dropping, there's a small shaft that goes in the center of that. It's like a rod that goes in there. And I don't like this. I just don't like the design of that cylinder. So I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of it. This one here is actually leaking a little bit again. I've had this one replaced. Then they weld it so close. You know, whoever welded that, they just need a little better quality control, if you ask me. So a weeping cylinder there on the end doesn't really concern me too much because, let's face it, it's added lubrication as you're going along. By no means is this thing worthless or junk. It does the job that I ask it to do. Could it have more lift? Yes, but again, that's a cylinder thing. I feel that it should have more than what it does. But again, it's a Westendorf, it's not a John Deere. And when I bought this, I really wanted a loader that was built in the United States of America. This is built in Iowa, and I went to the facility where it was built, and I kind of liked the people there. I thought they were really decent. I think that the loader is of quality. I know there's several people that felt that I should have bought a quickie if I was going to buy an aftermarket one, or just stuck with the John Deere. Would I have preferred the John Deere? For $10,000 more, I could have got a John Deere loader on this tractor. I don't know that it's worth $10,000 more. Now, my father, he hates the damn thing. He absolutely hates this loader. There is just nothing I can do to make him think that it's better than what it is. And it's not because the loader doesn't do its job. It's because he does not change the way that he loads a load of hay to accommodate the difference in the loader. And I'll explain the difference in this loader versus the other loader. And I'm going to turn this to my face because it's kind of important that people understand how these tractors and loader manufacturers and tractor companies work. It's a farm tractor. These loaders are technically attachments that you put on your tractors. Now you can buy the John Deere loader, you can buy a Westendorf, you can buy a Quickie, you can buy a Bush Hog, you can buy whoever. And I believe Bush Hog is built by Westendorf anyway. The company has stood behind the failures that I've had with it. I shouldn't have the failures that I have with it, but I have had them, and the company stands behind them. This HydroSnap thing here, this is good. Someone told me that it would be a real temperamental pain in the ass to keep it running. I agree. I do agree. There's a lot of pressure on those two halves. Now, I think what happened was whoever set the HydroSnap up at the factory, they didn't tighten this bolt, this nut enough, which is what adjusts the face of, the mating of the two faces. And as you use this thing, you will know that it really should snap into place. Well, I noticed after we got it on, we didn't even pick anything up with it. We just lifted the loader, which it should lift itself without too much trouble. I did notice that it was trying to separate here between the mating surfaces. So I tightened it up, but it was too late. It took out a seal or an O-ring in the coupler. So I called them right away. I'm like, listen, you just gave me this new Hydro Snap. It is leaking like a sieve. Now, I don't know if it did it before I put it, or Timothy put it on, or whether it did it afterwards, but she said that she would send me some new couplers, female couplers, which I'd be grateful to have. But I'm a pretty smart individual, so what I did, and you can see here, is I pushed that one down in, and I robbed the O-ring that's in there. Now, that O-ring is a square-shouldered O-ring, not easy to come by. You can't just buy those. I know Lawson Products sells them and all, but anyway, so I got it so it's not leaking. She's sending me some new parts, which is great. Thank you. And I'm happy. All right, so what I want to talk about is in these loaders. This loader will fit on many, many, many different tractors. I think this loader will actually go on the 7810 as well. If I wanted to put it on there, you just get the right mounts for the 7810. Well, the 7810 is a much smaller tractor, okay? So the reach of this loader on, say, the 7810 would be about here, okay? So there would be this much less tractor to deal with. And what is happening is we're constantly up against things with that thing there, with that push bar. Now, I've beefed that push bar up. That is not a Westendorf design. It is my design. I used their base piece, which is this little stupid thing there, and I added all this to it so that it would work, and it works fine. It's better than what it should be. It took a lot to do, but I did it. Anyway, yeah, I just re-engineered it, made it like 10 times heavier than what it needs to be. It could ram that thing into whatever you want, and it's not going to destroy anything. So anyway, so this loader would fit on these smaller tractors, and you would have more extended reach over, say, the wagon or the truck. Now, what my father's problem is, he likes to reach across the load up high and grab bales or set a single bale on the third tier, which you cannot do with this. Now, with the 7410, you can do that because it is a stubby nose loader. That is probably, that 740 loader, that 740 John Deere loader would go on a 7810. I don't think it goes on the, no, they don't go on the 8000 series. The 840 goes on the 8000 series. Very, very large loader. I couldn't find an 840 loader that would go on this, reasonably priced. And all right, so I'm in the 8120. Things seem to be working okay. Every once in a while, I get a sticky spot in that valve. I don't know whether there's material stuck in it. I don't know. But anyways, whatever. It is working, functioning perfectly, other than that. It's usually when I leave it sit, so there may be some bleed over, which is building pressure on the back side of one of these. But now that I've shut it off, it's perfectly fine, so I don't think there's anything jammed up in it. That is the Westendorf loader, by the way. We do have a wicked pile of material here. I guess I'll get out and show you a little bit about it. Smile, you're on candid camera kind of a thing. We don't play around anymore. I need to know where that came from. But yeah, there is quite a pile of hay down here. That motion sensor there has a booster. It will pick you up if you pull into this place. It kind of looks like it's all one block of material. It is not. This is tarped hay. I have more tarped hay up there. This is home, you know. Obviously, my father's been working a lot since we left for down on the eastern shore. I've brought home that little pile there. That is material that Timothy forgot to stack when we were away, before we went away, before the stack wagon went down. So what I've done is I've set them one on top of the other. They're not bad, and they're not even wet for that matter. I mean, we've had some rain on them, but nothing terrible, nothing more than a bunch of top bales there. So because I've got a lot of tarped material, that stuff there was all under tarps, but because of that, it's, look, I mean, it doesn't even look bad. I mean, you peel it back, it's fine. Usually at the strings, it will have that little bit, but it's not even damp there. So, I mean, if you're a mushroom farmer, one of my guys, one of my growers that buys this stuff, and you see this, it's perfectly fine. And there, right there, is my wife. The crazy Asian. Yep. Come on, come on, come on, come on. She's going to hit that thing. You watch. Dun, da, da, da. And I get to see my boy. See? This is what you call. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? Oh, she's listening to her Rafi Tufo. Wife tracks me down, makes me 2 Italian hoagies, gives me a kiss, and then she's off. Which is good, because I really... There she goes. There she goes. So I'll hop in my chariot here and get on my merry way. I got to hook up to that thing again, which is easy with the auto hitch. I think my dad's actually coming. Hold on here. Okay. Yep, here he comes. He's only got a few bales. Hey, good morning. Anyways, this is kind of a short video. I had problems with my camera. Yeah, this thing. I think it went through the washing machine, and I didn't have a battery to replace what was in the camera, but I was going to show the loaders in work. So you get to do that, see that tomorrow. I'm going to set up the tripod and just actually, do some actual farm work. You can see what I'm up to, and you can judge for yourself whether you think the Westendorf is worth what I paid, or whether I should possibly sell it and get a John Deere, or just completely take it off and get a different loader tractor. But anyways, it is a very large tractor to be running the loader with, but effective, just not as effective as I'd like it to be. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more.